Today on Dodson's Corner, we are going to be going over one fighter. Today on Dodson's Corner, we're going to be going over one fighter in each division who is going to absolutely dominate in 2025. We're talking like Fluffy Hernandez versus Michelle Pereira domination, John Jones versus wife domination, and the list goes on.
Damn, I was not expecting that. I need to proofread these intros from now on. No, let's get into it. We're going to go from flyweight all the way to heavyweight like normal. We already did our fall off video, so if you haven't seen the biggest downfalls of 2025 we're predicting, go watch that video. But today we're going to do domination. There was a lot of potential picks for this.
Yeah, like this is one where you got to consider a few, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'll start off with my flyweight pick. I went with Manel Cap. Now that is an obvious one. Did you go with Manel Cap?
No, because I was already on the Manel Cap bandwagon. I don't need to hop on it now.
True.
I was driving the bus. I was driving the bus.
You were. I will give you that credit. But he put on a worldly performance against Silva at UFC Tampa. And I think everyone was like, well, I've seen people saying it's the best 3-round performance ever. And I'm like, that's too far. But I like, it was good. It was really good. But dude, Kenny Okoye, or whatever his name is, Kenny Okoye, dude was glazing the living hell out of Manel Cap, like he does with every fighter from a certain region, but I'm not going to get into that. I think he does have the potential to lock in for 2025 and be a title challenger. He needs one more win. Dude, Amir Albazi is a free win. Even Moreno might be a win that he could get. And then he's going to be fighting Pantoja next. Unless Tagir Ulanbekov from Dagestan decides to jump in there and take that, because Dana would love to give a Dagestani fighter a chance at a title.
All right, my flyweight pick. Now that he's at a more appropriate spot in the rankings, Kaya Sakura. You know, he's down at 14, which means he's going to be fighting those lower-end guys. You give him a Charles Johnson. You give him some of those lower-level flyweights, I would say outside of Joshua Van. And those are pretty much layups for him. Like, I think as long as they're striker first flyweights, like, he's not going up there and fighting Pantoja. Like, we realized that was out of his element, but fighting at the bottom of flyweight, he has potential to get 2 or 3 wins at the bottom of flyweight and then slowly make his way up. And then, who knows, maybe by the end of year, you're fighting a Steve Erceg, and then, like, that's a competitive fight.
Yeah.
You know?
That's valid. That pick has the chance to age horribly, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because if he falls outside the rankings after fighting Pantoja in his debut, cooked, bro. And that would show levels to the UFC. The champion can't even get in the rankings in the UFC. Yeah. I think he will stay, though. I did have an honorable mention, Joshua Van. I'm high on this kid. He's so good. He landed, the second most strikes in flyweight 3-round history against Cody Durden. That was a crazy performance.
He is pretty electric, and I think his striking is amazing.
The chin on him,
too. The volume in his chin,
it's disgusting.
Definitely some potential there.
Yeah. All right, who's your bantamweight pick?
My bantamweight pick, Sung Yidong. I just think that, like, he only fought once last year at 300, and he was going to fight at Tampa, and then that fight got canceled. So realistically, he's got potential to fight about 2 times next year. And I just think that his boxing is so good. You go and put him up against a Cheeto Vera, and then you go and put him against, who knows, maybe a Sandhagen or something like that. He is 8, so he does have to fight up. His fight versus Peter Yan, it was a war. Like, it's not like he went out there and absolutely got dominated. Like, it was relatively back and forth in the exchanges. He did end up losing, but he's got potential to go up there and strike with almost anyone inside of bantamweight. I do think he obviously would struggle against a guy like Umar Merab, so that's why I'm glad that Tampa fight got canceled, because Umar would have just dominated Song Yidong in that fight. But I think his boxing is very good. I think as he continues to get older, he's still relatively young, like mid-20s.
Yeah, 28, I think, or 26?
I think it's like 27, right around there. So you really don't hit your UFC prime until 30? So he's still not even at his prime yet. So I'm confident with him for 2025.
Yeah, even older, like 31, 32. Yeah, okay, I have 2 options for this one, both undefeated prospects in bantamweight. My first one was another fighter from UFC Tampa who looked really good, but his win was kind of overshadowed by some controversy, which we'll talk about. Daniel Marcos with his win over Adrian Yanez. There was a lot of illegal strikes in this fight, which kind of sucks. A lot of groin strikes, and I think an eye poke at the same time as well. Got him with a double whammy right there, which sucked because he was having a great performance. Adrian Yanez is a really tough opponent. And with a win over Adrian Yanez, he's pretty close to the rankings right now. So I think one more fight could be a rank 15, rank 14 matchup, especially because he's 17-0 with 5 of those fights being in the UFC. It's a great a great record for him. And then the other one was Fareed Basharat, who we've seen perform quite a few times, UFC 308, fought Victor Hugo, who was like 15 pounds overweight or 13 pounds, like crazy overweight, still took the fight when he was on track to make weight for bantamweight, then took the fight at featherweight, which is just like respect out of this world. And he has good striking, he has good grappling, like a good mix of his wins coming from both. So I think he's a good chance to get into the rankings this year, especially with all of the Abu Dhabi and Saudi cards that they're doing. They're gonna want that guy on it because he's from Afghani. Yeah, you know, that whole world Dana just sees as one big place.
Like, you're from like this upper quarter of the earth. Oh yeah,
you're on that card. Maybe even like he's called for a Jose Aldo fight, which could be interesting. I think that might be a little bit too tough for him right now, but you never know.
Yeah,
could show out.
All right, moving on to featherweight, Gene Pant Silver.
Yeah, that's who I have.
He's so good. His power is unreal, and I think that with power like that comes one punch KO power, and all you need is one with a guy like that, and he can go up there and he can fight someone who's higher up in the rankings, especially a lot of like the grapplers, I would say, towards the bottom of the featherweight rankings. Like if you put Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell, really tough for Bryce Mitchell because, I mean, it's very much close to that Josh Emmett fight, you know? And I think even if you put him higher, like if you put Gene Silva versus Yair Rodriguez, I think I'd take Gene Silva at this point. I think that might be a very hot take, and maybe I'm speaking with some hyperbole, but I just think that this is how good he actually is.
Yeah, that's fair. He's almost like Tapori, where he's super powerful but can also grapple. So it's like any person's a bad matchup. Who's going to take that fight? I went with Gene Silva because he's probably going to dominate every single fight he has in 2025. I don't think they're going to give him a top 5 opponent yet in 2025. That'll probably be 2026. And so I think he's just going to rack up some easy wins. He already has his next fight booked. I forget which card it's on. It might even be Seattle or something like that, but it's coming up.
I think it is Seattle.
Is it? Yeah. It might be 312 even, like somewhere around there. But if he's fighting right now another person outside the rankings, that's going to be a win. Then he fights maybe someone 13, 14, 15 ranked. That's probably another win. And so that's probably his 2025 wrapped up.
Yeah.
2 wins, domination. You know, they did give Kyle Baralho a top 5 opponent like right away when he got into the rankings. So,
and they offered Protez a top 5 opponent too.
They're so high on the Fighting Nerds, which is good.
Yeah.
They deserve it, but you never know. It's going to suck when you see one of them get destroyed.
Their aura goes down.
Yeah, but right now...
He just gets kicked out.
Right now, it's at an all-time high.
All right, moving on to lightweight. My pick, after showing at 308, may not have gotten it done, but give me Oral By. I'm still so high on him. The toughness of that guy, the way that he did not get knocked out.
Yeah.
Like, and then like third round picking up Rebecca and then just dropping him down. Legendary. Crazy
fight. One of the best fights. We actually have a video coming out where we're going to rank our top 10 fights of the year. That's on there for me.
It is on there for me too.
So hype. For lightweight, I have, UFC Tampa inspired me to make this video. It was so good.
Recency bias.
I have Joel Alvarez, who at the time of making this video was not ranked. Now he is ranked at number 15, right? Yeah. He might, I had written down, he might be the best unranked lightweight right now. Now he's ranked, so that doesn't matter. 22 wins, 22 finishes. New Shavkat. Huh? What are we saying?
No.
What are we saying?
Doesn't sound the same.
New Shavkat.
18 wins, 18 finishes sounded better than 22 wins, 22 finishes.
It does.
And a lot of twos, man.
And he has 3 losses, I think. So he's not... Well, come on. That's 22 wins and 3 losses is not bad.
Bum.
Yeah.
Absolute bum.
Honestly, that's what some people would have you think.
UFC nitpicks their stats.
Yeah. He put away Drakkar Klose so fast. Like, dropped him and then kneed him and then guillotined him and then punched him. Like, it was the most dominant performance on that UFC Tampa card, I think. And he also has wins over Elvis Brenner, you know, which you're famous for. Exactly. That's like the Top Churro meme, the Taporia meme where he's, Anyways, he's 6'2" for lightweight. Super
he
tall.
Is tall.
He's talked about moving to welterweight, which I don't love. It might be an easier cut. Like, he could bulk up. But man.
But then you lose your advantage of that height.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you have like 3 inches, 4 inches on most lightweights. Yeah. That's a big difference.
4 inches on pretty much all of them. They're mainly 5'10".
On or in?
You never know with those Spanish guys.
All right, my welterweight. I would not be surprised if you have the same guy. Do you have Carlos Prates?
I have another one as well.
Okay, yeah. What else is there really to say with Prates?
Yeah.
He's at 13 now, and he's got the one punch KO power. He had 3 like highlight KOs. Like he goes in there to get a highlight finish. I think that he's obviously training at the best gym in the UFC right now in terms of the fighting nerds. So he has the elite coaching to help.
Other
him
than Khabib.
Yeah. But he has like elite coaching to help him get better. So especially when you're 30, he is 30 exactly. You know, you just get to keep on building and building on that. And we're really going to get to see him. I think he's going to get a top 5 opponent at some point this year. I think it's almost a shoo-in. I hope it would, or even if you go and give him one of the guys lower down, like you go and give him Wonder Boy, and then you go and give him,
a banger.
He could fight 2 or 3 times this year, and I think there's a real world where he wins all 3, and he could knock out 3 guys this year.
Yeah, I always question like a guy like Carlos Prates when they join the UFC, they have 2 or 3 or 4, in his case, quick fights. And they get into the rankings, are they going to keep fighting that much? Are they going to be like, all right, let me take it serious now?
No, I think he's one of the guys that's going to keep on fighting.
Because we saw
I think
Hamzat.
I think he is keeping it serious too, though.
Yeah, because he has early losses in his career, and now he locked in. Also, for lightweight, can we talk about Chase Hooper for a second?
Ooh.
He's probably going to go on a bit of a run.
Yeah, I think especially, like, it's so easy to submit those low-level guys. Like, they don't know how to defend a submission.
Yeah, honestly. Even Clay Guida, who has fine takedown defense and grappling. Like, dude, Chase Hooper is just different.
Just dogged on him.
Different. All right, I'll move on to my welterweight pick. I did have Carlos Prates because he's the biggest riser of 2024, arguably. But my other pick was Owen Elliott.
Okay, yeah.
Because, I mean, dude, we saw him perform at, was it 308?
Yeah.
It might have been 308. And he looked unreal against Basil Hafez. I was super surprised. Highlight KO. Honestly, I wrote most of my notes about Prates because I hope you didn't say that. But yeah, I'm also high on Owen Elliott. So
all right, middleweight time.
All right.
Bo Nickel.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Bro has not dominated a fight since like his second UFC fight.
But hear me out. After seeing how much he struggled against Paul Craig, they're gonna give him easy matchups, and realistically, I think he can dominate. I think he actually is good. I think that he is just very smart and doesn't want to risk anything. He has zero intent of ever taking a strike in his career. He is doing whatever he can to avoid contact.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Bo Nickel.
That's a tough pick. I went with Anthony Hernandez. He has losses earlier in his career. Not even that long ago. He has a couple losses, KO losses as well. So he definitely has the potential to lose. I think the Michel Pereira fight maybe skewed a lot of opinions, like overrated him almost.
Yeah, potentially.
Because he just dominates so easily, and Michel Pereira. It looked like Michel Pereira had a bad night.
Yeah, he was basically laying on a punching bag the whole night.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's still one of the most underrated fighters right now. Like, he just does not get any talk at all about him, especially because he's didn't move up in the rankings after that fight. He's still like 13, 14-ish.
13. Yeah,
13. So I think he could have a couple easy matchups in 2025. He's also on a 6-fight win streak. So the fact that he is still that low in the rankings, like, they might make him fight down again because he doesn't have any name value.
That is true.
Right? Like, he could still fight unranked guys right now.
Give him Charbot. Charbot would die.
That would be my dream matchup right now. So boring. It'd be so boring.
Oh, because Char has 0 ground game.
It would be pretty much the same as Fluffy Hernandez versus Michel Pereira, I think, right?
Yeah.
Except Char Bullet's going to grab the cage a little bit.
All right, my light heavyweight pick. This was another division that was so hard to pick. So ultimately, I don't love picking someone as high as I did inside the rankings, but I went with Khalil Roundtree. It was between him and Alberg for me, and Khalil Roundtree was lower in the rankings. So I was like, all right, let's go with Roundtree, because I really think he could go out there, he could fight a Rakic, or he can go and fight the loser of Yuri versus Jamal Hill, and I think he has what it takes to knock him out within the first 2 or 3 rounds, because if it goes further than that, Khalil ain't got no gas tank. Yeah. But we also ain't seen Yuri fight after round 2 in a while.
Yeah. I mean, he had the Glover Teixeira fight.
Yeah, which was obviously a legendary fight. But yeah, so I went with Khalil Roundtree.
It's fair. Yeah, Khalil Roundtree and Carlos Ulberg are 2 definitely obvious picks. I went with 2 prospects. I have Zhang Ming Yang, who we've seen fight quite a few times in 2024 and looked absolutely unbelievable every time. His last fight was at UFC Macau. He did have quite a few losses early on in his career, but now he's riding an 11 fight win streak with only 2 of those being in the UFC. So, you know, there's still potential for him to get a little bit fraud checked, but I am quite high on him. His last win over Ozzy Diaz at UFC Macau was very impressive. One of the best fights on that card. He's a good size for the division. I believe he's 6'2", and he has insane power. 12 of his wins coming by KO and 6 by submission, which means that he has finished every single fight he's won. 18 fights, 18 finishes.
No, it's not 8. It's 18 wins, 18.
Sorry, 18 wins, 18 finishes. And I think Dana knows that this guy's going to put on a show every time, which is why he's been putting him high on the cards right now. So we could see him get a good opponent.
Yeah, that's a really good show.
And then Ibo Aslan, the other guy who I picked for light heavyweight, dude just one punch KO'd his matchup, Rafael Cerquera, at UFC 308.
Yeah.
Like did they move that up onto the...
No, I think it was the featured prelim.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Or maybe it was the featured early prelim.
Featured prelim. Because one of them, it was their debut.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I think that's true. Don't quote me on that. But dude put him out in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm high on him.
All right, moving on. Last division, heavyweight.
Cook division, bro.
Oh,
this was so hard.
So tough. I was like, who am I even going to pick?
Yeah, I'll let you go first because I have 2 options.
Oh, Mick Balkin.
Okay.
I'm a Mick Balkin. He's
Valid.
like
Mick Porkin.
He's like the only one that's really coming up. You know, he's young-ish.
Yeah.
For heavyweight.
Trains with Tom Aspinall.
Yeah. So hopefully he can pick up a few things, you know.
Yeah, that's who I picked. That was my first pick. He's sitting at rank 15 right now.
Yeah.
I think a fun matchup for Mick Barkin could maybe be like a Tai Tuivasa or like even a Derek Lewis, maybe. Those are 2 good striking matchups. But dude, he gets hit a lot. Derek Lewis could low-key have a great performance.
Derek Lewis could piece him up.
That's what I'm saying.
Derek Lewis is sneaky. Like, he could go out there and he could realistically beat anyone in the heavyweight division outside of Tom and John Jones in a fight, but then lose to unranked guys.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely random.
He could go out there, knock out Cyril Gahn, Volkov, or Pavlovich, but then go and fight his next fight and get knocked out by a Toffa brother.
Every fight in the locker room beforehand, he flicks a wheel to decide if he wins or loses.
Should I win?
Yeah, KO round 3. All right, I'll do it. And jiu-jitsu doesn't work on him, so that's another good thing. My second pick was Kennedy Nzechukwu. You gotta stop doing that, man. When we get more subs, you have to stop doing this. We're getting canceled. He's had 2 fights in heavyweight. He moved up the division. He was light heavyweight. He moved up to heavyweight this year in 2024, and he's had 2 wins. Chris Barnett, and then his win over someone I can't remember. UFC 310 was it?
Or was it on the? No, it was on 310.
Yeah, it wasn't on Macau. Or was it on Macau?
No, it was on 310.
Yeah, it was on 310. So, looked good. I'm not saying he's going to be top 5 ranked, but I could definitely see him in that bottom 15 to 10 range because, dude, heavyweight is just so bad right now.
Yeah, and I think especially if he gets bigger, because he's still relatively small for heavyweight. Like if he's able,
and he's tall.
Yeah, so if he can put on extra like 10 pounds, it'll really help him out. Just because he already is so fast. So if his speed drops a little bit, but he's able to put on a little bit more weight, it will help the chin. Just help him out a little bit more power. So
yeah, and he has been put out before at light heavyweight. Like he has quite a few losses to the ranked light heavyweights, but heavyweight. We talk about light heavyweight being bad. Heavyweight's even worse. They just don't have skill.
Yeah.
So if you have any form of actual striking, like skilled striking and somewhat of a takedown defense, like you're chilling.
Yeah.
You're chilling in the top 10 to 15. So.
All right. That is going to do it for us today. Go down to those comments. Let us know who's going to be the most dominant fighter in 2025. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.
See ya.